Yeah, last I think we completed the
That's the
phase.
one, yeah, good document.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Covers all T codes and very the basic common uh, issues in a real time, some
Mm,
tables, related data, everything
mm,
it is covered. A very useful document. Okay.
yeah,
So we are in MRP, right? We are
yeah, yeah.
studying MRP. So can you recall some MRP points? What is scope of planning?
Yeah, last we completed I think the time phase planning.
Uh, time phase planning also there, correct? Scope of planning, time phase planning. Okay, those all are the MRP types, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
So we discussed some of MRP types: time-based planning, forecast-based planning, reorder point planning, and forecast-based. The reorder point VVI to VM is used regularly in real-time scenarios, and some MPS we understood MRP and TPP. Okay, and some what you understand is analysis of MRP, right? MD04. What is the period total, order report, technical requirement, navigation profile, selected rules. Those are we understand. What is the MRP list?
MRP list MD05.
MD05. Exactly. MD05 is where you are getting the last MRP result. Okay. The MD05 one is the static report, whereas MD04 is the dynamic one. And there any changes, the planner is going to update in MD04, whereas in MD05 you are getting the last MRP run data. If anything change in the MD04, it is not reflected in MD05, the report. Okay, this is very for analysis in a real time scenario. You can use this MD05 T code. And,
Mr. Shekhar,
now,
please check your setting because the voice is
mic.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, same. Because I think same issue you have also.
Um,
I check my setting. There is the one. What happened?
uh,
Headphone speaker is used and laptop mic is used. That's why the echo sound
so,
is become echo.
correct,
Please
correct.
check.
But your side is perfect now. Last week was very bad, actually. Not
Hmm.
audible. Now fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
same like your voice today.
Uh, let me check it. Let me check. Tell me what. Okay, phone. Oh, where is the setting?
Yeah, go to setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, both are same.
Yeah.
I think it's not used.
I'm audible now, but okay.
Yeah, yeah, audible.
Okay. So we want the factor influencing the MRP. Okay. So what are all the factors influencing the MRP? sharing my screen. I am in lot size procedure presentation screen. Okay. So what are all the lot size procedures? And before that, I will tell the impact factors of MRP. One is lot sizes. Okay, there are different lot sizes within the MRP component. You can select and use the select, right? Then there are some of the cracks are there that could be mentioned or that influence the MRP. Those are the three main cracks that those are actually drop component crack and operation crack. So this is where we can understand the factor influence that MRP. So there are three groups of the large procedure. Yes, there are three classes in procedure. One is the static lot size, linear, and optimal lot size. So because with the lot size is calculating the procurement quantity. In the MD04, you are checking the quantity, right? The quantity is based on the lot size being maintained in the MRP.
Mr. Shekhar,
Yeah.
your voice is breaking very bad.
Hello, Mr. Shekhar, we are not able to hear you properly. Actually, there is some sort of breathing noise from your end. It might be because of the fan or it might be some malfunctioning from your mic side. You can also do one thing, Mr. Shekhar. You can mute your laptop mic and you can join the session with your mobile. Both concurrently join. I mean, be in login with your laptop and also with your mobile and try to speak from your mobile. Are you getting me, sir?
Anyway, wait. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Shekhar.
Okay.
A little bit.
Now fine. Let me call in a mobile.
Yeah,
Wait.
better.
Hello. Hello.
Hello? Mr. Shekhar, you have to mute your laptop also. Kindly mute the mic of the laptop. You can press Control D and it will automatically mute the mic of the laptop. Kindly press Control D and it will mute the mic. Please use your mic of the mobile and kindly press Control D on your laptop and it will mute your mic, laptop mic. You can use the mic of the mobile, Mr. Shekhar. You can mute. This has been already muted, so you can use the mic of the mobile phone by which you have joined the session, so that we can hear you. You can showcase the screen by your laptop and speak through your mobile. If you're using the microphone of the laptop, then please press Control D. It will unmute your mic.
Hello. Now okay.
Yes, we can able to hear you, but there's an echo because your both mics are working. Your mobile is speaking and your laptop mic is working.
Hello.
Mr. Shekhar, you are audible, but it's echoing. Your voice is echoing. We cannot able to hear you properly. So I think if you can able to mute your loudspeaker also, the laptop loudspeaker, try to mute it and use, or else you have to quit from your mobile and you have to speak with your laptop only, because we have to manage it.
Hello. Now I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Hello. Hello. Now I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Perfect. You are on.
Okay. Is ball okay now?
Yeah, better.
Sorry, I don't know why it is. Okay. So we start lot sizing procedures. Integration lot sizing procedure in customizing for MRP in the IMG activity. This is where the lot sizing procedure, if any changes required in the lot sizing, or the available lot size will going to fulfill the requirement. The major lot sizes regularly used is EX, FX, FS, EX. This is uh, numeric, it is not numeric, two digit alpha numbers only, okay, alphabet numbers. And this we can maintain in the large MRP 1 year. So in a few minutes, we want to understand the system, what is the lot size, what are all the settings, okay, those things. And what is this? There are the three groups of the lot sizing procedure. There are the three groups in the lot size. One is static lot size, period-based lot size, and optimum lot size. There are the you can use the short term and the long term lot sizes to divide the planning period to the lot size calculation. And the lot size can be planned exactly independent of the selected lot size position. The lot size is actually where we maintain the PIRs in MD61. That links or that quantity is decided by this lot size where we maintain the MRP 10. So static lot size. Static lot size procedures, the procurement quantity. That means what are all the procurement quantity that is calculated exclusively by means of the quantity specific enters in the method. So the following static lot sizes are available. Lot to lot order quantity, that is EX is called as a regular one. This lot to lot order quantity that comes under static lot size. Then fixed lot size, FX, fixed lot size. Fixed lot size with fitting FS and overlapping. So these are the different lot sizes and replenishment up to manage lot size. HB. So these are the static lot sizes regularly used in the business. So very important one is the static lot size. That is that lot for lot order quantity is regularly used. So lot for lot order quantity, uh, you plan using the lot to lot order quantity when you want to be procured exactly lot size again. For example, if in MD61 we maintain the lot size as 100, then in MRP one view we maintain the lot size as a year in spite of anything. The system are doing the MRP, right? Whatever the PIR quantity we maintain, this MD61 same quantity is supposed by the system. That is we call as lot to lot order quantity. This procedure is also referred to the lot for the lot order procedure. Indicator is the EX for the lot order quantity. This is the indicator for the lot to lot order quantity. Lot, lot for lot order quantity is the lot size field in the material master MRP1 is the material. When planning using the system uses exact shortage quantity requirement minus available stock. This is the net requirement calculation we understood. So based on that, it will consider for the order quantity is the case of material shortage. The time of the requirement date, the plant stock is zero. So we will check in the system how the EFT behaves. Okay. So next one is there see, we are maintaining MRP only. The MRP type, the regular one we will take as a 3D MRP. Then there is a lot size data. So in MRP only, there is general data, then MRP procedures and lot size data. In the lot size data, there is a lot size available. Here there are different lot sizes, so we can use the lot to lot order quantity is the X. Then we have to upload the demand. We can upload the demand to MD61 for the material. The planning period may be monthly, weekly, daily for the checking purpose. So for the month of 5th, 6th and 7th, for the execution purpose, we maintained as a 200, 300 and 500. This is lot to lot order quantity. So after running the MRP, we get exactly 200 means 200, 300 means 300, 400 means 400 last results. Which you can see here. So for the month of May, the LSF for the strategy is 10 only. That is 200 is the independent requirement. For 300, it is generated 300 only. So for 500, it is generated 500. So total.
The signal, are you able to hear Mr. Shekhar?
Sorry, what's it?
Are you able to hear Mr. Shekhar properly?
I really don't understand. The sound is very disturbing.
The sound from mine is disturbing, right?
Not getting proper, huh?
Hello?
Hello? Now okay?
Yes, Mr. Shekhar, the voice is not coming properly.
Oh, oh.
Mr. Iqbal, are you able to hear me?
No, no, not understand properly because
Even I am able to hear noise and voice equation from your end. Mr. Shekhar, if you can able to, I don't know whether you are understanding me or not. What I want to say is that you log in from your mobile and mute both your loudspeaker and microphone of the laptop. Use the microphone of the mobile and you can share the screen from your laptop. But don't use the loudspeaker uh, and microphone of the laptop. Because if
This,
you use the speaker or the microphone of the laptop, then we will get an echo sound.
wait, let me stop and log in again.
sounds really horrible.
So we are in MD04 screen, the screen we are discussing lot to lot order quantity as EX, how the behavior of the EX. Okay, so let me continue further. So we have once see these are the settings are the lot sizing procedure. How we can understand is in MRP1 view we can change the required lot sizing procedure, upload the demand through MD61, and once we run the MRP through MD02, we are getting that requirement elements. So you are seeing in the screen where the stock requirement list is available. So the planned order is generated for the 200. So the LSF of 200, we are getting the 200 planned order quantity. For 300 also, we are getting the planned order for 300. And LSF for 500 also, we are getting. That means whatever the demand we maintained in the MD61 screen, same demand or the planned order we getting after running the MRP because of the lot size we maintained in the MD-MRP1 view. The lot size is EX. Okay, so we can check the same in the system as well. The second one is a fixed lot size procedure. The abbreviation for the fixed lot size is FX. It is useful select the fixed lot size of the material. Okay, for example, if it is only delivered, for example, the pallets of the certain quantities or the tanks of the certain size is having a some fixed quantity. Okay, for example, some kgs of 1,000 kg, or it is in a cartons of 24 boxes. Okay, so customer is telling this is the lot size I can deliver it to you. In that situation, based on the lot size setting, we can set this lot size in MRP1 view as a fixed lot size. Okay, so it is entered in the FX fixed lot size in MRP1 view. When planning using the fixed lot size, the system will use the fixed order quantity recorded in the material master for the lot size calculation if the material shortage exists. If the fixed lot size is not sufficient to balance out the material shortage, then several lots are planned for the same date until the material shortage is eliminated. Means fixed lot size is once you enter the fixed lot size FX in MRP1 wave, system is asking how much fixed lot size is needed. Okay, so see here in the screen MRP1 view, the fixed lot size we entered as a FX. FX is a fixed lot size. So the system is asking what is the fixed lot size, how much quantity. So if you enter this in 300 and based on the demand, this number may be the unit of measure. Here it is a kg. So based on that, that lot size is calculated. Okay, so this is the fixed lot size. If whatever the demand we maintained in the MD61, we are getting the fixed lot size of 300 only. So the same way again we are uploading the demand 100, 200, 400, and 500 for the month of the May, June, July, and August. After we running the MRP, this is the before MRP run, we are getting the independent requirement that LSF, the strategy is 10 we used. So 100, 200, 400, and 500. We are running the MRP run, single item multi-level planning, MD02 screen, and we have to enter the material and plant and MRP control parameter, the regular whatever we decided here that same to be used. So net change for the total planning is NETCH and 1313 is the thumb rule. We run this MRP after planning run with MD04, we are getting okay, all the planned orders are generated for the quantity of 300 because we are maintained the fixed lot size in MRP one view of that FG or that material. So if the 100, my requirement is independent requirement 100, but still I am getting the planned order of 300. If 200 is the independent requirement, for that also we are getting the 300 as the planned order quantity. Same way, if it is more than or the less than whatever the demand we maintained in the MD61, system is considered as a fixed lot size we maintained in the MRP1 view, and that whatever that fixed lot we maintained, same is generated after running the MRP. This is what this screen is showing in the stock requirement list. So fixed lot size with the splitting. Next, fixed lot size with the splitting and overlapping. That is FS. So fixed lot size and splitting. Some case what is there? So we can control this by entering the fixed lot size with splitting off. We can split it based on the client requirement. Here we splitting is given as a 100 valuation. The rounding value is the splitting quantity. For example, the fixed lot size is the 100, sorry 300. The 300 is divided into 3 planned orders because the rounding value we maintain as a 300. So 300 into 100 into 3 is 300. Okay, this is the fixed one. Fixed how much? 300. And splitting of 100. Okay, let us check this in the system. So the same way we have to, before the screen we are showing no demand uploaded. Then the second screen we showing as a demand uploaded for 300 quantity. So we are running the MRP to MD02 and we getting the that splitting of 100. My requirement, independent requirement is 300. This 300 is divided into the splitting value maintained as 100. So we are getting the 3 planned orders. Okay. So likewise, this is fixed and splitting not sizing procedure. Replenishment up to maximum stock level, that is the HP. So not much used. This lot size procedure replenishment up to maximum stock level. If you want to fill the stock up to highest possible level, or we can store certain quantities of the material due to the container size. Okay, so it is similar to fixed only. This applies to the tank. For example, the capacity of the tank determines the maximum stock level. So lot sizing procedure with a reorder point. The one advantage is this HP is, so we can use it as a reorder point like VB and VM. Okay, automatic reorder point and manual reorder point concept. So we have to set this indicator HP in the lot size field, and the maximum quantity to the stock is a maximum stock level field in the material master. So set this maximum lot sizing. See, VB is the manual reorder point, and in the reorder point 300 is given. So HP is replenished to maximum stock level. So if maximum stock level, so we can maintain as a 700. Okay, so rounding value no use, that is old setting only. So here the replenishment to maximum stock level is working with respect to MRP type if changed for the manual reorder point or automatic reorder point. Okay, so same we see in the screen. So before we running, so we maintain the stock of, so we're getting the stock of the 700 because so there is a 700 maximum stock level we maintained. So reorder point is 300. That means if the stock is a falls below the reorder point, system is generated the proposals up to maximum stock level 700 only if we maintain the lot size HB. There is a 700 stock size is there. So this is the static lot sizes procedures. Okay. So EX, FX, FS, and HP are majorly used static lot size procedures. period lot size procedure. Period is that is a time interval, okay, based on lot size. That means that period to be, maybe it is a days or a weeks or a monthly. The period of flexing length equal to posting period and a freely definable period according to the planner. So whatever the standard period lot size, that also fulfill the business requirement. So that that may be the lot size for the period lot size is monthly lot size MB, weekly lot size, also daily lot size. Okay, there are three different lot size procedures are there. If I entered as a monthly lot size as MB, so we are running the stock requirement list. Now create the PIR in a weekly bucket through MD61. Okay, we are running the MD61 is not monthly based. So if you maintain that one also the weekly, then so see here there is a weekly bucket we changed in the planning period from M to W. Then so this is a week 14. Now we are in week 15th, this is one week 15th and 16th week 17, 18. Likewise, the planning bucket we changed here to weekly bucket. This is a weekly bucket. How system is calculated the requirement for the monthly, because we are maintained as a monthly lot size procedure. So here the week of this fourth is nearly 40, 30, 20, 20, 40, 40, 80, 110 is the requirement, no, monthly requirement. Okay. But we maintained as a weekly demand how the monthly lot size is calculated. Because if you maintain the monthly demand as well, but system is calculate the requirement for month basis only. So we are running the MRP to MD0 to single item multi-level planning. So we are getting the monthly, because it is consolidated the weekly demand to monthly, and requirement a procurement element is generated for monthly demand. So this 40, 30, 20, 20 is a 110, and the remaining this one 100, 90, 190, 190 plus 80, 170, 270 plus 60, 230 plus 50, 380. So if we maintain the demand through MD 61 weekly, but system is giving the requirement monthly basis due to the lot size we maintained in the MRP one view as a monthly demand. If okay, so this is what the lot size system is calculated. Then we can check the minimum lot size. So minimum procurement quantity of the receipt. So there is a, again you can see here. So let us first finish this. So if you define the minimum lot size, the system can only create the receipt with the procurement quantity that does not fall short of the minimum lot size. If we maintain the minimum lot size for the lot size, if EX is maintained, okay, then the minimum lot size we, if you maintain 100, so it will create the minimum of 100. Okay, but it will not fall below that minimum lot size quantity to the minimum lot size only. You can use the minimum lot size for following standard lot size procedure. So if you maintain the minimum lot size field, the lot to lot order quantity or period lot size procedure, that means monthly, weekly or daily, or reorder point procedures or VB and VM. If any lot sizer that procedure is there. For that minimum lot size procedure we can use lot to lot order quantity, period lot size, and reorder point procedure. That means minimum lot size is a lot size. System will generate that minimum lot size. It does not fall short of the minimum lot size. That is a minimum. It will consider our requirement going to generate for the minimum lot size only. Then come to the maximum lot size. So maximum procurement quantity of the receipt. That one is the minimum procurement quantity of the receipt. This is the maximum one. So if if you define the maximum lot size, the system can only create the receipt with a procurement quantity that does not exceed the maximum lot size. So for example, if the lot size, again, this is lot to lot order, period lot size, and reorder point procedure, which is applicable. If you maintain as a 500 is the maximum lot size, system will generate the requirement quantity maximum up to 500 only. Okay, more than that, system will not generate it. Minimum is minimum quantity. It will not fall down the minimum lot size. That is the difference. You can use the maximum lot size of the following. Same way, lot to lot order, lot for lot order quantity, period lot sizing procedure, and reorder point procedures. So minimum lot size and maximum lot size. Let us see the screen. So, same way, this all play here is in MRP 1V only. So, we maintain the MRP type as a PD lot size. It may applicable for the period lot size, lot to lot order quantity, or reorder part lot size. If you take example of the EX, then the minimum lot size we maintained as a 500. Then what will happen is system will generate. So before that, no demand. Now we are uploading the demand in FG, that material. And this is planning period is monthly bucket. So if you maintain for the month of April is 300, then so my requirement is maintained 300, but in MRP one view we maintain as a 500 as a minimum lot size. Okay, but I maintained as a my requirement, uploaded the requirement minimum to 500, right? Because 300 only we are uploading. Okay, that means how the system is behaves. Let us see. So 300 only maintained. This is the minimum lot size. Okay, in spite of if the requirement is 300 only, but as a system, the lot size behaviors as a minimum, it will generate for 500 only because of the minimum lot size we maintained in the MRP one view. We are running the MRP run. My demand is only 300, but the lot size, we are now checking the minimum lot size by maintaining the 500 only. After running the MRP, we are getting the minimum of 500 only. This is a single item multi-level output result. So this is the requirement. So you can understand independent requirement wherever we maintain that is floated through MD61. So there we maintained as a 300 that demand, but the requirement proposal system proposed is 500 due to we maintained the lot size as a minimum lot size. It will give 300. Now, even though you are considered below the demand, still system is generated as a minimum lot size of 500 only. Okay, minimum 500. If the demand is 1000, then proposal going to generate a two planned order of 500 and 500. Okay, so those are different testing also we can understand through during the real time that once we log into the system. So this is about the minimum lot size. Okay, so we go for maximum lot size. So maximum lot size is where the system is generate the maximum only. Okay, below that only system generate the proposals. Okay, so maximum lot size. So my lot size is maintained as the EX, and maximum lot size is we maintained as a 500. So what system is doing, if my requirement demand is maintained as 1,000, then proposal going to generate independent requirement is for 1,000 only. But running the MRP, maximum lot size is a 500. System proposes two requirement of 500, 500 to fulfill the demand of 1,000 quantities. Okay, this is about the maximum and minimum lot size and lot sizing procedures. So there are the three main major lot sizing procedures. So one is static static lot size, period lot size, optimum lot size procedures, and minimum maximum also comes under this lot sizing procedures. So this is about lot size, procurement element quantity, same as a demand, fixed lot size FX, fixed lot size only, and FX is a fixing and splitting. That means rounding value is mentioned in the MRP one view. Okay, same to be maintained. All the lot sizing, the first influencing of the MRP run is lot size procedures. Okay, that is EX, FX, and FX fixing and splitting, and the minimum lot size less than that. So yeah, minimum lot size and the maximum lot size is applicable to order EX or period lot size or reorder point. Okay, this is about factor influencing. The next one is let us clear this theory part first. So I'm going to, there are the three lots that are scraps in a system. In the real time scenarios we can observe. So these parts also influencing the MRP run. Those are, so there are the three scraps. One is assembly scraps, component scraps, and operation scraps. Okay. So what is assembly is? Assembly, you may have idea that pump is one of the if FG component. So that is having the SFG components and raw materials. Okay. If these scraps are majorly applicable or this impacted affected for the process industries where, so if example I am showing here, FG material is there. If they are producing 100 kg of the finished product, at the end, after lot size is 100, but after getting the component is 98 kg only. That means there is a 2 kg of the loss we observed. Correct. So this is where we need to increase or we need to do the setting for this requirement in increasing the order quantity with percentage, increasing the order quantity with percentage as well as the component level during the order creation. That means this is where we can understand here. So we are still in the MRP, right? That is planning part. After the planning part, what we are doing, this planning is demand, this converted into the production order. That means there is a planning and execution part is there. ELANNING. The planning is done.
This is called also yield calculation. Yeah.
Yield quantity, lot size quantity, execution. Here in the execution part, so once this is MRP part is done, in the then execution part is there. What are the execution parts? That production order creation. These are the execution part. We are going to do the production order. Availability check will take place. Production order going to release. capacity planning, scheduling, goods issue, confirmation, goods receipt, production cost, etc. It is the last actually. This is the FI part. Whereas up to goods receipt, once we are getting goods receipt, we are getting this stock actually here. For example, the lot size the production order created is 100. Okay, then ultimately after goods receipt of this process, we are getting only always getting 98 only. Then it is a risky, right? We are not fulfilling the demand of the customer. There is a loss of the 2 kg. Then how are you going to do? This can be maintained or fulfilling this requirement in the assembly scraps. Okay, so it is increasing the order quantity by percentage. This is maintained as a percentage. Here, percentage means there is a 2 kg. So 2% we can maintain in the assembly in the MRP one wave actually. This one. So this maintained, yeah. It should be maintained in the MRP one wave of material master. There is a assembly screen is there. From there, this uh, wastages we can maintain in the material master of the MRP view of FG material. This is for assembly means for FG only. Okay. So output, the final product. For the final product, loss can be covered by doing this setting. That one is the assembly scrap. So let us take in the same screen. So assembly scrap. Okay. So this
Hide,
is a
hide your side screen.
Iqbal.
Hide your side screen. Yeah,
Which
okay.
screen?
Yeah, yeah, okay, okay. For my side. Carry on.
I'm not getting you.
Continue, please continue.
Okay. Assembly scrap. Scrap that result from the production of the assembly. Okay, just we discussed. We have to maintain the assembly scrap in MRP one view by percentage. Okay, in the scrap field of the assembly header material. This is applicable for the header material only. So header material. So assembly scrap increases the order quantity of assembly and subsequently increases the order quantity for corresponding components. The dependent requirement of the material components are therefore increases correspondingly. That means if we maintain the scrap, that assembly scrap in the FG components only, so based on that corresponding that rate of that loss of the percentage is applicable to dependent material as well. The system increases the quantity to be produced for all the assembly component accordingly. Okay, this is maintained in the MRP one view.
Header material is like FG
FG,
material, no?
FG material. So you see here in MRP one view, there is a assembly scrap maintained. 5 means 5 percentage. There is a, if we maintain or if we produce the 100 lots as 100 kg of this FG component, we are getting order quantity of 105. That means this is percentages increases. So later we are getting the how much is we required for 100 only. So the same way, all setting is needed. We once the FG is done, for that we are maintained the BOM components. Okay, once the BOM is done, this is for testing purpose. One component added, 1859 only. Now, so for this routing also we need to ensure once it is available, so we can go for manually creating the MRP. Those detail we can later we can understand because it is next execution part. This scrap of MRP, whatever we discussing, this assembly scrap, operation scrap, and component scrap, it is a link to order creation, okay, production order. Okay, this is where I am showing here this manual order creation. Even it is the same concept is for converting planned order to production order as well. Okay, so this is a screen where we can create the production order, okay, based on material which production plant. That means this FMFG component we are producing in the plant 1000 with order type PP01 of 100 quantity. If we are producing 100 kg of this, okay, but I maintain the 5 percentage in MRP one view of this FG. So see here there is a increasing scrap percentage is increases to 105. Okay, order quantities increased due to the scrap maintained. Assembly scrap is maintained in MRP one wave. So you can check in corresponding component 1859 also maintained as a 105. No need to maintain of this had a MRP one wave. Okay, it is corresponding to FG only. No need to go to component level and maintain these scraps. So this is about assembly scraps. This changes after MRP run we are getting. Okay, assembly scrap is majorly the setting is in MRP one view assembly scrap field, and this correspondingly dependent components also increases. Here the lot quantity is going to increases, okay, after the MRP run. So this is about the assembly scrap. Then we can check the component scraps. Components is usually this is for bomb component, right? That whatever the FG is there. Somewhere what happened is this is again purely applicable to process industry where some components it is going to decrease. That's not fulfilling the FG component. Okay, so component going to reduces the component material consume more with the percentage. Component material consume more with the percentage. This setting is in MRP 4 view. Okay. So this setting can be do in MRP 4 view as well as in BOM item view as well. BOM item view basic data. This is component. Okay. Component setting. Let us see in the slide. This is a component one. Reducing bit. So component scrap, the second scrap influencing the MRP. Component scrap of the component that may break during the production of an assembly. We can enter the value of calculating the component scrap in the material master MRP 4 view or the BOM in the BOM item details. Okay, data block quantity. This component scrap is only relevant for the individual BOM. If you maintain in the BOM, that is relevant to that BOM component only. Okay, it is not applicable through all. So if we maintain the component scrap in MRP4 view, it will applicable same component may use different BOM as well, correct? So that is applicable throughout the BOM. Okay, in the component scrap field, the component scrap is relevant for all the BOMs. Where if you maintain the MRP4 view, so there are two ways or two position where we can maintain the component scrap. One is in MRP 4 view of material master and another one is in BOM of the item details. If you maintain in the BOM of the item details, it is applicable to that particular BOM only, whereas In the MRP4 view of the material master, if you maintain the component scrap, that is relevant to entire BOM of that plant. The component scrap quantity maintained for the material component in the BOM as a higher priority. So BOM has a higher priority. Okay. So if you maintain for the material component in the BOM, okay, if we maintain the both side, that means in MRP4 view as well as the BOM item view, the system first considered the MRP item level only. So note, component scrap increases the dependent requirement quantity same way. So if any dependent component is there, that also going to increases. In the BOM on the item detail screen, basic data that I will show you this relevant to individual BOM. The material master record on the MRP4 screen under the requirement explosion, if the same component scrap applied to the material in the number of the BOMs, then it can be maintained in the material master record. Okay. So this if we maintain the material master record, the corresponding components also it is increases. Here there are the two, one is assembly and the component scrap. It increases the quantities. Okay. The material master record of MRP4Q under the requirement explosion, the same component scrap applies to the material in the number of the bombs. That is correct. Component scrap is used in the material requirement planning MRP to determine the quantities of the component required. So when exploding the bill of the material, explosion of material means based on the planning date. So whatever the component we maintained in the BOM of the child as well as that component, that is going to exploded. That is going to plan based on the MRP we maintained. Okay, MRP parameter. Even it is calculated the scrap quantity. Component scrap dependees. Component scrap maintained for the material component in the BOM overwrite the component scrap maintained in the material master record. There is also a assembly scrap for the higher level assembly. The system adds together the two types of the scrap. Okay, it will consider if we maintain the component scrap as well as this assembly scrap, it will consider both the scrap during the MRP run. That is component scrap dependencies. So BOM item detail screen basic data. If the component scrap is only relevant to the individual BOM, then it can be maintained in the BOM item detail screen only. So let us see the screen here. See, so there is a BOM. It is actually CS02 change of the BOM. Go to item level, quantity and structure. Okay, in the another screen, I'll show you quantity. There are the two component. Okay, it is not shown. I will show you this in a screen. Wait. So this is FG header level. This is in MRP 4 view component scrap. In MRP 1 view assembly scrap. In MRP 4 view is the component scrap. Again we maintained as a 5%. So if anything is maintained here, that is influencing of MRP. Okay, this is increasing the quantity. So it's straightforward. So we're creating the order through CO01. So initially we entered 100 quantity only. Here there is no now yes, assembly scrap. Okay, but we are checking the component scrap. It is going to increase us by the percentage we maintained in the MRP4 view. So yeah, you see in the component level there is a percentage increases, because see, there are the two levels we maintained initially: 5% in the MRP 4 view and 10% in the uh, bomb level. So there is a, based on the requirement of the business, same we can maintain based on the requirement. Okay. So system will consider whatever the scrap we maintain in the material master. So this is about the component scrap. So how it is influencing the MRP run. Okay, bomb item details. So this both are the increasing factors, whereas another one is there, that is operation one. What is the operation? There may be, this is component levels. This is now task list level. Okay. Some case what happening, this example will check, there are the 10, 20, 30 operation is there. Okay. So there is a loss, for example. So if there is a operation 10, we are getting the loss of 5%. Again, this is in percentage only. So then no need to maintain the same, right? There is a, that quantity is going to decreases here. It should not, there is a quantity should be decreased, the time to be going to reduce. So no need to maintain the same as the operation 10. So correspondingly, operation 20 and 30, the based on the loss of the operation, this is going to reduces the quantity. So this can be maintained in the routing operation detail. Okay. So the preceding operations are going to reduces the quantity actually here in the operation scrap. So there are the major three scraps: assembly, second one is component, and third one we are just now studying operation scraps. So let us go to screen again, operation scrap. So operation scrap, uh, we need to, anyway we are maintaining the routing before that component to be available, bomb to be maintained, and during the operations scrap, that routing creation. So go to details of first operation. Example, usually that scrap is going to get in the operation, initial operation only, correct? So you go to select the initial operation one, then go to details, go to operation, okay, select this line item, go to details, operation, and come down. This is the initial screen, change routing operation details. So if you come down, there is a scrap general data screen. We are seeing there is a scrap tab, scrap field is there. So if you maintain as a scrap of 5%, so this is going to impact the reducing of the quantities. So now create the production order of this for this requirement. So after ensuring all the master data of that FG component. So again, for 100 quantity only for understanding, because percentage is for 5% we are maintained in the operation overview of the routing. Now in the order, go to operation overview, operation quantity. Uh, just you scroll down, operation quantity, second is reduced 10% because we maintained this. So see that initially that quantity is 100, 100, 100 only, but due to the percentage scrap we maintained, the the initial is 100 kg only. After the first operation is completed, but second operation we are not getting 100 kg of that quantity only. In the turning we are getting only 95 kg. Okay, because here comparing to other two scraps, in the operation scrap we are reducing, we are getting the get reduce the quantity of the for the remaining operation. If any remaining, how many operation is there, for that this is going to reduce us. Okay, So if there is a BOM level changes, so this is again the control is operation scrap for the component. For example, while doing this operation every time I'm getting the scrap of 10% or 5%, that also can be maintained in the basic data view. Same in the component scrap for other one. The second one also we can maintain in the item overview of the basic data. There is a component scrap and even operation scrap. So both the case for the component level, also operation level, we can maintain the scraps of operation scraps. Particular component actually belongs if you maintain for the BOM. We are running the MRP for 10 percentage. We are maintained component scrap. So initially component there are the component 1859 we maintained as 10%. This also applicable here. 10% of the quantity. Again, operation scrap also we can check. So this 100 quantity is reduced to 5% of 95 and 95 maintained because during the operation scrap we maintained in the routing overview or task list overview. So this is the operation details. There are three scraps which imply the major scraps of the MRP run. And I think we understand the planning time fence. I think the last class we discussed this planning time fence where there is a buffer, okay, that influences. Planning time fence is nothing but the days, okay, we can protect. This we discussed in the last session as well. So we protect the master plan from any automatic changes to the scheduling. This is again come for the planning categories. Okay, by using the planning time fence. Planning time fence we can maintain in the MRP one view of MRP type data. During the planning run,
Mr.
the
Shekhar,
system, yeah,
we can close the class at 4 because I have some meeting, another meeting.
okay.
Thank
So
you.
how about this practicals?
Sorry?
Theory, we need to log in and find out those data, right? Whatever the screens, the behavior
So
we
we,
need to understand.
so we can, tomorrow we can start with practical.
Uh, at 4 you are going, na?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So this we discussed, right? Planning time fence.
No,
You
not
getting?
discussed, but just overview
Yeah, yeah.
first.
Going. One more thing is there is a tomorrow. I'm difficult to take a class. Idbar.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, I'm actually going out. Anyway, in mid
So I
of
think
the
I
next
think
week, we'll take one
you
class.
can you can plan alternative days because now you can we need to run fast little bit now.
Yeah, we need to cover all next
Yeah,
because if
yeah.
this is pakka, na, then these are
Because
you
it's
can catch actually
yeah, because in the starting the now the concept
basic.
is clear. So yeah,
Yeah,
basic is clear. So I can understand.
yeah.
So it will be alternative days.
So
You
repetitive
can plan.
process
Yeah.
industry and configuration part, integration part that I going to cover. So wait. So what because no alternative days I'm not sure.
Mhm.
So based on the timing, anyway, Saturday, Sunday we will try. Okay. So what I no need to mix this MRP to execution part.
Yeah, yeah.
Let us finish this. Later
Mhm.
we'll go the flow. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Remaining weeks. Let us just
So
go
most
through this.
probably
Hmm. Tell me, tell me.
So most probably when the next class, Monday or Tuesday.
Monday, not possible. Anyway, that we have to log in and check all the scenarios. That's it. So any mid of Tuesday or Wednesday we try.
Okay.
Okay, 1 hour. 1 hour is enough. Then you can practice well. Huh? If any difficulties, you let me know. I will let you know the next class. Huh?
Okay.
Okay. So planning time fence here. Yeah, any automatic. That means we can changing the scheduling items. There are this is applicable P actually PD as the MRP type you are using. Other than that, P1, P2, P3, P4 is there. Okay, this is where the MRP type PD how we are using like that. P1, P2, P3 also we can use. This is a MRP only. There where we are fixing the planning time fences. 1, 2, 3, 4 is there. So based on that, there are based on a P1 how it is implicate the MRP run. Those to be understand and are not using much, but for theory part we can just go through. So we can planning time fence for the material planning in the MRP only. Okay, not MPS. Master scheduled item in the master production scheduling also material is long term. Sorry, it is applicable for the long term because long term planning is where there some planning we can do. Long term means before actual execution we can run and get to know the requirements. Okay, plan before the execution part. There also this MRP that planning time fence is applicable. It is and using the planning time fence, we can exclude certain period. For example, there are the 1, 2, 3, 4 is there. Initial period we can exclude if based on the requirement. So the exclusion system, there is planning data is using here. So we can exclude and do the automatic planning run in this period. Only manual changes are made. So there is a firming that a star is coming now. Firming it is fixing actually. So you cannot change, but manually we can change based on that how the behaves P1, P2, P3, P4. And there is no create proposals one if it is firming. Okay, must enter the MRP type with the firming type in the material master. So that in the screen it is showing. And we can define the planning time fence either individually per material at the material master record or MRP group level MRP also there. Okay, MRP groups based on their there is a configuration we need to do for the MRP groups. Okay, so you see here this is a MRP procedure, the firming, automatic of firming proposals in the planning time fence. Okay, firming that P1, P2, P3, P4, this one only. So it is here it is going to firming and in this there is no firming period. If any firming period we maintain in the MRP one wave. Okay, requirement type. This is a requirement if planned order is generated within this period only. Okay, there this is a firming. This is here not generating the requirement. That's what influencing the firming type material requirement planning. Here you see this is a planning time frame. 60 is maintained in days actually. 60 days, 2 months. But the MRP type is not PD used. Here we maintained as a P1. Fixing type 1. This applicable. One wala, this one going to applicable. That means within this 60 days it is going to firming. So apart from that, that means you are planning on April, May, June, if any requirement is that is going to firm. So like this, you can see here, we are running this. There is no end planning time fence. So we are maintaining for the May month. So May, June, July, so running the MRP done. So there is a end of planning because 60 days is there. So the requirement is generated apart that after the 60 days. So there is a it is considering the factory calendar as well. So based on that, they going to generate it. If 90 days, we can check is going to farming. Okay. So this is about planning time fence of the
So
MRP.
after the days, the process will be start.
Correct. You're right. Because we are automatically changing master plan. That control we can do by using these MRP types.
So why it is required?
This is about again the control because the requirement, for example, some planning or the customer is asking the demand some period after the some period. Okay, so we no need to do the planning part now and get the warehouse stock to burden. So if you farming it in that period only, it is going to allow for the planning part, even the execution part, and we the same period only we can fulfill their customer requirement.
That for the future planning, no?
Yeah, that is also future planning kind. This one actually, this is kind of the controlling that planning
Yeah,
controlling.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Got it.
usually this is not because today's nowadays is customer asking buffer of 30 days. They are giving the demand of the first of April or the end of one and a half month. They are waiting and the delivery they are asking within the for 30 to 45 days. So those kind of the planning with MRP type of PD and lot to lot order quantity EX, and it is again it is linked with your component or raw material how you are planning and vendor how they are supplying. Based on that, there is a lot size setting you can do, and the planning part to be complete. Then after running, you are getting the planned order. You are converting into the production order for the in-house components, and that same planned order to be converted for the external component. That means the planned order to be converted into purchase requisition, and purchase requisition we are getting the PO and get the component for fulfilling the raw material requirement. Requires this planning calculation to be going to take place. So this is about all theory parts regarding the MRPs. So in the next class, we're going to understand how the system behaves. Same way, it is again like a recall kind. Okay, you can check and understand all those. So this covers your the major. It's kind of a heart of production planning where the MRP is major role.
Yeah, yeah. There is a single consultant for the MRP. Yeah, some of the
Yeah,
company.
some companies, yeah, some consultant, they can handle only MRP related planning activities, settings, or whatever. So here we can see this MD scope of planning for the planning level MRP or individual material MRP run. So some companies, the consultant only taking place MRP related, only MRP. They are going to
Yeah,
planning, do the run MRP run and you execute because there are the thousands of component. If there is a lot of issues, there are a lot of requirements. If
yeah.
any, see, some companies are asking, they are getting the sales order from the customer of 100 lot sizes, but they need to get the lot size to be generated only one, always one lot size. Then this there is a setting again. You need to go to lot size procedure and do the setting based on the sales order. There is a fixed lot size is there, but every time they need the single order quantity only. Okay, so if they those again based on the customer, based on the business requirement, those settings to be changed, do the settings and get the requirement to be fulfilled. So
Okay.
this is all about MRP, material requirement planning. Okay, same way, same concept for the MPS also. Here you are running MD01 for the online MRP, MDBT back background MRP, MD01 single item single level, MD02 single item multi level. Same way there MD40, MD40, MD41, MD42, MPS for critical component. The SAP is recommended for the MPS, Master Production Scheduling. Okay, in the next class, we will go in and check this theory practical parts.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
we
Thank
will
you.
let you know the further. Before the week, we have to take one class for this practical one. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. You
Thank
just go to theory part. If you any doubt in that, please ask us.
you. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Okay.